You can actually get more performance by drilling a hole in your piston. Like two-stroke racers do this, which sounds weird because you would think you'd lose compression. But my bike has been running really good. I'm going to see if you can see this. And I don't even know why I said I would just check the spark plug, right? There we go. You can see it. It's not even in there tight. And it goes back and forth. So there's definitely compression loss right there. And I wonder if that little bit of compression loss is why it's running better. It's weird. Because these aren't high compression engines. But if you drill a hole, you take off your cylinder, drill a hole into your piston, you get performance. That's a fact. I haven't done it to this motor, but I've never even had this off. I've never even cared to take it off. It's like my beater bike. But look at that. I'm going to tighten it just because I don't like the idea of it being loose, because eventually it could destroy the threads inside the head, and I want this bike to last forever. Look at the spark plug. It's just floating. I have it literally pushed into this space right here, and that's what's been holding it in place. It's all cracked. This could be a tribute to the... There's a channel that I watch. It's in Canada. It's called Zip Ties and Plies. And the guy like hasn't made a video in like 5-6 months or something. And he has 300,000 subscribers. So he has like a huge viewership. But his channel only has like a small amount of videos. And he like just disappears. But it's called Zip Ties and Plies. And it's all ghetto shit. Except the fact that this one works the best. It's all for a look. Just so people... I don't even have to lock it up. I don't even put my lock on this when I park it. Because people are just like, what is this thing? Yeah, but I thought I'd let that piece of knowledge out there. People don't think about it. And it is for sure true. Because I've had performance two-stroke racing engines. And when you take them apart, there's literally a hole drilled in the piston. Look it up. It's very strange how that works, but it revs better, it revs smoother. It's very weird. But that's a free mod that most people don't know. You don't need to take the cylinder off if you don't want to do a good job. You can literally just drill a hole through that piston. Those small metal shavings aren't going to damage anything. People take this stuff too seriously, and they're going to go down into the bottom end. That shit will just get eaten up down there. It'll be better lubrication, essentially. They used to put lead in gas, which is metal, to lubricate metal. It's a very strange world. Yeah, so just drill a hole in your piston. If you want free mods, go for it. Look it up first so you don't think I'm blowing smoke up your ass. Look at this thing just leaking oil out the fucking thing. Look at that. Just raw. It's literally raw oil. I wonder where all that's coming from. It's probably been leaking gas the whole night because I didn't turn my gas off. Even though I'm telling people to turn their fucking gas off, I always forget to do it. Yeah, that's nasty. I ride this bike every day. I just took it out yesterday. Ripping around. This is also good too. Wrap some electrical tape on your handlebars or your seat, because you never know when you're going to need it. Fix your bike or yourself. Maybe you get a bad cut or something. I also have duct tape down here. I don't know why, but you might need it. It's one of those things. If you don't have it, you're going to need it. So you may as well just put it there. You can use it when you're at home too. If you run out of electrical tape, you're going, oh, it's on my bike. Perfect. Go grab it. You're good to go. And I've left this outside for the last 4 rainstorms and nothing's happened to it. I'm basically experimenting with it to see if it'll... Because I've had them go bad before, but I think with the holes under the magneto cover, I think that lets all the moisture come out and let it come out there. And also I do have it greased up here. I made a video about how to waterproof this. And I don't know where it went, but you put grease on this edge or all the way around, and you put grease on top. And obviously you can silicone. When you put this on, use any type of silicone. It doesn't have to be high temperature. And just run a small bead with the gasket, and that helps waterproof it a lot. But the fact is the heat stays in there. So the holes on the bottom, I think, is what's keeping this ignition alive, because I've cooked A lot of them. They all seem to cook, and removing it's not the answer because you're going to get dirt, debris, and water in there. You know, it just isn't the answer. And then I don't know about the finned ones because look how close that is. A lot of people have issues where the cranks are actually hitting their motors. So if the finned one is any bigger than stock, you're pretty much SOL. Yeah, so there you have it. The best running motorized bike on YouTube. Basically the best running motorized bike in the world. By far, I would say. Considering all the things that has been wrong with this bike, every bolt is stripped out. The intake bolts are like different size, oversized American. One's an Allen, one's a regular hex bolt. They're like Loctited and super glued in place. And then I wrapped around the whole intake with super glue. And then I put 2 layers of electrical tape around the whole thing and tinfoil and zip ties, as you can see. But that intake works better than stock, leaks less than stock, and has been like that for damn near a year. So it obviously works great. And it's one of those things, it's not about money, it's improvising. This bike was a basket case, and I didn't want to spend any money on it. And I didn't. Hardly didn't spend any. You can't make a magneto. I got to put a magneto. But it's the stock clutch. It's just awesome. Because some people don't have access to bike shops or Amazon or money. A lot of people in third world countries, they will love this idea because you fix it without having anything. That's the beauty of this bike, and it works the best. There's no effect on how fast it goes. I'm still running 4-stroke oil. It runs so good. You don't need 2-stroke oil. It's good to know this stuff, and I hope people believe me because I wish someone told me all this. It took me a long time to figure it out myself. Like, I was so skeptical, and 2-stroke oil is twice the price, you know? And I'm using old 4-stroke oil that's just laying around, and it just doesn't matter. And if you want, add a little bit of Marvel to it. Marvel's like $3.99 a quart. It's cheaper than oil. And a little bit of Marvel goes a long way. You just put a little bit in, and it's good for gas and oil. So with a 2-stroke, which your oil is in your gas, it's the perfect thing. The Marvel cleans up the carb. It cleans off the top of the piston. It makes it run smoother and rev easier. It's a great fucking thing, but people don't think about it for 2-strokes. It's great. You can put it in anything. Diesel, 2-stroke, 4-stroke, gas, crankcase oil, it doesn't matter. It all works. It's like the go-to oil for everything. Look at my tube. It's got dry cracks in it. This is a brand new tube. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There's dry rot everywhere. That sucks. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. That's a brand new tube. Me and my brother were talking about, well, my fake brother, but he was telling me that the sun is getting really like crazy because he was showing me stuff that's fading in his yard. Damn, it's cracked. Every spot that's exposed is cracked. Like it's been out. It looks like it's been aged. Dude, that's going to pop. I got to take that tube off. That's crazy. It looks like it's been aged 20 years and it's been on this for 2 weeks. Because he was showing me stuff in his yard that was fading really fast. He like, look at this plastic. It looks like it's been out in the sun for 5 years, right? It'd been out for a couple months. There you go. Look at that. The whole tube is destroyed. That's crazy. I just put that on. Huh. Every part that's exposed to the sun is dry rotted. Maybe when I take it off, it'll be perfect under the tape. That's nuts. That's good that I noticed because that's false security right there. That's not going to do anything. Zip ties and bias plies. Look at this fucking thing. This thing is rad. This is the brake cable that you have to tighten down on. And I had to, it's a long story, but you probably won't be able to see the detail. I had to drill out inside there. This took me like 6 hours one day to figure this out because I did it so many different times because the whole thing stripped out and I didn't have a part. And I just was like, I'm determined to do it. So there's 2 nuts. I think there's a washer down there, the original washer. This thing's like all over the place. And I drilled through with a huge American bolt. And this is so old. This is a true and tried repair. This is like 7-8 months ago. And it works great. But you should, I'm telling you, check out the Zip Ties and Bias Plies channel. It's hilarious to me. The guy is on a good one. But he's just got an attitude like this. But his shit is fucked up. But it's entertaining. Mine just looks fucked up. It works great. This is the best running bike, period. Look at the head gasket. It has not leaked a drop of oil in there. I'm always impressed by that because people are like going through head gaskets, blowing motors. I don't do anything to this. The spark plug is literally chilling. Look at that. You can hear it. That's hilarious. I should just leave it like that, but it'll blow out eventually. That's the performance mod. That's the cheap hole drill. Zip ties don't melt on exhaust, which is interesting because exhaust gets to be like 2,000 degrees. Oh, it's funny. This cable was wearing through right here. I just had to secure it. Oh, you can't really see it. This cable's probably rubbing on my tire for a month, and it just rubbed all the way through the casing and almost went to through the metal and everything. It's like, how little do I look at it? I don't even look at it, so I'm just trying to throw it out there that you can have a reliable motorized bike. It takes a very little bit of maintenance. But people, they don't do anything and they expect it to be like a Japanese motorcycle. This is cheap junk, like designed to be cheap. Like, you know what I mean? You can't expect it to be anything else. There's one master link. There's the other, one of the other master links right there. Here's another one. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. And then there are two other ones that I made out of chain links. I figured it out. There's only 3 legit master links, but there's 5 replaced links on here. And at one point I had to extend like another part of chain that got kinked. But this is the original chain with well over 6,000 abused miles. And now that it's fully stretched out, I haven't even had to tighten this in 500 miles. There's barely any slack on it. I don't know why people have so many issues. And it's like, this is a good sprocket because it's from the old motor kit. But as long as you have a good sprocket, your chain shouldn't be an issue. Like, why spend money on parts when you don't have to? That's the thing I'm getting at. Some guy gave me shit and said that, why wouldn't you buy, or I'm too poor to buy a new bungee cord. This is, for me, it's like status. How long can this bungee cord work? So I just put a brand new one on because I know the other one's going to break. I just did that yesterday. Look at where it's at. It's worn through. But why get rid of a bungee cord I've had for 10 years? It's doing the job, and it's funny that it's still working. So I'll use it until it's done. The other side's just literally tied on. It's been so raped, but that's the point. This is supposed to be fun. Look at my throttle, dude. Look at my throttle. Ugh. I don't even care. It doesn't matter. This thing, the throttle is so smooth on this thing. People, they put their cables, I never even mentioned this, they put their cables to make their cables look all neat, especially with the throttle and the clutch. When you put your cables in around the frame and you tie them down a lot, that makes the throttle very hard to turn and the clutch very hard to pull. Mine's like a hydraulic clutch. It's so smooth, but people just, they bind up the cables and expect it to still work properly. Semper Fi. Enjoy your summer, because I'm living in summer every day. Dual brake levers are a joke for novice riders or girls with simple minds. Use your clutch, use your brakes, ride your bike like a motorcycle. Get a motorcycle, just don't kill yourself, because people shouldn't be on those unless they have full potential. If you can't handle a motorized bike at 40 miles an hour, you don't need to be getting no motorcycle. That's just a fact.